Hi, I'm Carol Jurgensen Sheets, aka Carol the Coach, and this message is for partners. There's a lot of conflicting information out there, and if you've been doing your reading articles, reading books, going to support groups, 12-step groups, treatment centers, you may have to experience the old school way of thinking about partners. And I'm here to debunk that. I recently saw an advertisement for a retreat for sex addicts and their partners. And it talked about codependency and you being the co-addict. Well, I got to tell you, you are not the co-addict. And unfortunately, what has happened is 12-step movement that originated from Alcoholics Anonymous felt like the partner of an alcoholic was codependent. I don't know. I think that at times she might have been, or he might have been, and at times not. I would never stamp that on any partner of a substance abuser. Sometimes you do enable, and that's not the healthiest thing. And sometimes you don't. But here's the difference. Partners of sex addicts are not codependent. They are not co-addicts. That's offensive, and it needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. So if you are watching this video and you see that reference, or you hear it in your S-Anon group, or your COSA group, or at a treatment center, or you read it somewhere, it is your responsibility to write the book, the author, to tell the treatment center or the support group that you are not going to be considered a co-addict or codependent. Now, here's why. You did not know what was going on with your husband. He hid it from you. Were there indications that something might have been wrong? Probably so. But more than likely, you absolutely had no idea what was going on. Therefore, you didn't enable it. You didn't encourage it. You didn't stay in a world of denial and allow that person to cheat on you. You didn't. And unfortunately, codependency came from that model whereby women especially were pouring out their husband's alcohol. They were calling the boss and saying he was sick when he was really drunk. They were covering for him when he was to be at family events. They were doing what they thought they needed to do to keep from humiliating, shaming, and embarrassing the alcoholic. As a sex addict partner, what we know to be true is that no, you don't scream from the rafters, my husband is a sex addict and he's cheated with 69 prostitutes. Of course you don't. At the same time, you don't say, honey, go on out there and take $300 and have fun and come back, and I'm not going to be angry and I'm not going to share that with anybody. Women who are partners of sex addicts figure out what they need to do to get healthy, to create boundaries, to set limits, and to take care of themselves. Can you see I'm riled up? This is probably the angriest you're going to see me in a video. I'm telling you, when I saw this retreat asking sex addicts to work on their sexual recovery and partners to work on their codependency, I said, oh my goodness, they don't know the new school of thought. If you are at all familiar with APSATS, APSATS, that is a partner-sensitive training group that helps clinicians and coaches learn a multidimensional partner trauma model that says when you find out about your husband or wife being a sex addict, you are traumatized and you don't know exactly how to function because the amygdala is working overtime to ask you to fight, flee, or freeze. That's not being codependent. That's not telling your husband that you're going to go to bed at 8 o'clock and he can do whatever he wants on the computer. In actuality, partners of sex addicts become hypervigilant and they go, what can I do to make sure he doesn't do this again to me, to our kids, and to our family? And if you're a male partner, the same thing goes for you. I know that you too work on taking care of yourself and your family so that this addiction doesn't continue. Your identity is not based on rescuing the sex addict. Your identity is looking for ways to stay safe and to decide, do you want to stay in this marriage while that man or woman gets help? That's what you as a partner do. Now, I got to tell you, I'm a CSAT. I'm a certified sexual addictions therapist as well as a clinical certified partner trauma specialist. I'm accredited with APSATS and I'm accredited with ITAP. And ITAP doesn't ascribe to that either. And when I talk to Stephanie, because some people think that they are endorsing the codependent co-addict model, Stephanie Carnes, the president of ITAP, Patrick Carnes' daughter, said, you know what, Carol, we don't train that way, we don't teach that way. We do have books in their first and second editions that did advocate that model when we didn't know better. You know, you don't do better until you know better, but they know better and they're training appropriately. And I'm so proud to be a part of both of those organizations because what I know to be true is they are teaching people about boundaries. They are teaching women and men, partners of sex addicts, how to use their voice, how to set limits, how to get care for themselves, where to go, what to read, and what to tell their children. So, if you are an addict and you love somebody, you have a spouse, and she is still there with you, she's not codependent, she's not a co-addict, she's figuring out what she can do to keep her life stabilized today. That may mean she stays in the relationship forever and ever. Or that may mean she's out the door tomorrow. A lot of this depends on your health and your recovery. If you're doing a good job, my experience is partners typically stay. And if they see progress and momentum and movement, they wait to see if the relationship can be restored. That's the good news. And if you are a partner and you're in that 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it's normal, natural, and probably necessary for you to process what you need to do to get healthy. Don't let anybody call you a co-addict. Don't let anybody tell you you're codependent. You didn't know this was going on. You don't endorse it. You're setting limits. You've got boundaries. You're using your voice. And hopefully you're taking care of yourself. That's the message I want to give you tonight. I'm Carol the Coach, a.k.a. Carol Jurgensen Sheets, and you can reach me through my website, Sex Help with Carol the Coach, or you can listen to my radio show for addicts and partners, blogtalkradio.com/Sex Help with Carol the Coach. You can subscribe to it for free on iTunes. And we're in this together. We're here to make you feel better because this is one of the most traumatizing things that has ever happened to you. And we are here to support you in all your endeavors. You know, I always say it at the end of every radio show. There's only going to be one of you at all times. Fearlessly have the courage to be yourself. Make it a good day, and I will see you soon.